without adopting a proper digital marketing strategy. A consistent growth in business is not possible without accepting this ultra modern sales promotion tool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all the participants to kindly mute your audio and video after joining the webinar and request you not to unmute yourself or share the screen during the presentation. And once again, I apologize for the inconvenience caused. It was because of the technical problem. Now, I request our sister Carvalho Faustina Cecilia, Assistant Professor of our department, to welcome the resource person of today's webinar, Dr. Harichand Nair. And please remember that all participants can pose their questions anytime during the talk in the chat window, and we'll be indeed happy to compile them and present to the resource person during the Q&A session of the presentation. Now over to Sister Cecilia.
I request all of you to mute your microphone. It is an honor to introduce the resource person, Dr. Harichand Nair, Adjunct Faculty, University of Memphis. Dr. Nair is a development manager with global expertise in the design, development, testing, and implementation of software solutions. He has made a name for himself, delivering SAP solutions and upgrades to businesses across the globe. He has also served as the coordinator of several complex projects globally. A gifted professor, Dr. Nair is well known for his various teaching assignments at International Paper, Boy Scout of America Merit Badge Colleges, University of Phoenix, University of Memphis, and Christian Brothers University. His impressive academic credentials include awards like Faculty Scholar in 2011, Outstanding Faculty in 2015, the Key Driver and Diversity and Inclusion Impact Award in 2016. The road of these great achievements began in Trivandrum. Dr. Nair is a CET graduate of the 1990 batch. He pursued his MBA from the University of Phoenix in 2007 and then went on to complete his PhD from Walden University in 2011. Let's listen to a lecture on digital information marketing strategy from one of the most expert in the field. I welcome Dr. Harichand Nair to the webinar. Sir, we cannot wait to hear from you. A warm welcome from All Saints College.
Hi, good evening all. First of all, I want to thank the faculty and students and staff of All Saints College. Hope you are all having a great day. And the topic I'm going to present before you is a very important topic, the digital information marketing strategy. As you all know, the internet boom began from 1990s globally. And from 2000, it has really picked up. If you approximately view the number of people using internet, is more than 4.5 billion across the world. And if you take the case of countries like China, we have about 854 million people using internet in China, about 560 million people using internet in India, and about 314 million people using internet in US. Okay, now let me share my presentation. Okay, today's agenda, first we'll be discussing about digital information marketing strategy, and we'll be taking a deep dive into tools and technologies. That is the heart of the presentation. And towards the end, we'll be discussing the question and answer session. But again, due to some reason, if you are not able to get your question answered, you can always email me. My email ID is hcnair@hotmail.com. Again, that will be presented towards the end, the last slide, so that time you can make a note of it. Again, it is hcnair@hotmail.com. If you can, in the subject line, if you can mention digital information marketing strategy, I will know that it is from one of the participants, and I'll be prompt to answer your email. Digital marketing strategy. This is a very important topic, especially in today's world, as billions of people are using this internet to gain access and to know more about the products and brands. One thing to keep in mind is the unique selling points. If somebody is offering a service or product, there should be something unique so that customers will lean towards buying that product. And as Dr. Nair mentioned earlier, the importance of brand. So that's very important. First time a brand is introduced, people have an unbiased opinion. As time passes by, based on the feedback and based on the inputs from the people who brought the product, that is when the brand gains importance. Next one is the customer or buyer persona, the target audience. So that is important. We'll be taking a deep dive later. Then comes the SMART goals. And the heart of the presentation is the digital marketing tools and technologies, basically the digital information marketing. Of course, budget is very important when you're doing a campaign. For advertisement, definitely budget is required. And the campaigns or ad or advertisement also plays a key role, and a budget has to be allocated for advertisement. Nowadays, online marketing is happening more than other print marketing. If you start a campaign, it is always a good practice to check and adjust the marketing campaigns. There are several tools available to track the marketing strategy. And based on that, we can adjust our marketing campaigns. Importance of brand. As I mentioned earlier, your brand should have something unique or something of value and should have a voice. Brand gives business the opportunity to put a meaning behind the name. So just like all of us have a voice, brands too have a voice. They speak, communicate, just like one of us. For instance, Coca-Cola is a very famous brand throughout the world, especially in US. So during all the key football games, Super Bowl, they always have a advertisement or a small video clip. So the main theme is the Coke side of life. So if you go to YouTube and type in the Coke side of life, you'll be able to see a lot of commercials. And I'm not pulling the YouTube up because I don't want to, reduce the quality of video when streaming. So basically what the Coke side of life represents is happiness. If you open a can of Coke, according to the advertisement, if you drink the Coke, you'll be happy. So that is the whole theme of the Coke side of life. The return on advertising spent. You all may be fully aware of ROI. It's a common concept. ROI accounts for the amount you make after paying your expenses. But I want to focus on return on advertising spent. Basically, if you're spending $1, you have to make sure that you're spending it on the right audience. So the return on advertising spend, in short, ROAS, measures the gross revenue generated for every dollar spent on advertising. Keep in mind that unlike ROI, this is advertiser centric. For example, assume you are spending $3,500 for an ad. So if you're spending $3,500 for an advertisement, online advertisement, and just because of that advertisement, if you're able to gain $12,000 profit, that means the return on advertising spend is 12,000 divided by 3,500, which is 3.42. Basically, we are getting more than 3 times the money we spend on advertisement. Again, the SMART goals is used in various fields and in various strategies. So again, this is not a new concept. You'll be aware of this concept, but I just want to reinforce that concept here because that is applicable in this digital marketing strategy as well. It has to be specific, it has to be measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based. As I mentioned in the previous slide, there's a means to track, and also there's a means to reach the audience. We'll be covering more about that in the next slides. Digital marketing tools and technology. This is the heart of the presentation. This is where the whole presentation revolves around. The first tool which will be taking a deep dive is search engine optimization, in short called as SEO. There are a lot of very useful, very detailed webinars and also podcasts and also video clippings in YouTube. So when time permits, please take a look at it. It's a very important concept. So after discussing about the SEO, we'll be talking about pay-per-click monitoring or pay-per-click marketing. Then we'll be talking about webinar. We'll be talking about content marketing, downloadable content offerings, email marketing, social media marketing, video production, and voice engine optimization. That is an interesting topic which is gaining a lot of importance these days. So we'll be talking about voice engine optimization. This voice engine optimization is sort of connected with search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. So if you take the case of All Saints College, definitely there is a library and there's a librarian in charge. Suppose if a student is coming and looking for a particular book or an article, and if the student is not able to find that book or article, definitely that student will try to reach out to the librarian to find out whether this particular book or whether this particular document is available. In the US, you can actually request a particular write-up. If you know the name of the author and the name of the article, you can actually request the librarian by email. Can you please let me know whether this article written by this particular author is available in the library? Because in the US, we are actually, most of the colleges are using this online library. I'm sure All Saints College and University of Kerala also are in that, following that path these days. But here, most of the universities are offering all books as e-books and journals and Procus EBSEO host. So the students first go to all these research databases, and if they are not able to find the article, they will reach out to the librarian in charge. So imagine the world, people are trying to look for information. So search engine optimization is just like a global librarian in charge of the global libraries. So suppose a user is trying to gather some search criteria, say, for example, shoe repair in Trivandrum. So if somebody is trying to do a search in Google or Bing or Yahoo, this particular librarian has to process all the data available in the internet and spit out the most appropriate answer. So one thing to keep in mind is that if you are creating a website for your own company, if somebody is trying to search, your website should appear in the first, second, or third, at least in the first page. Then you will get maximum number of people viewing your products and services from a website. That way your business will grow. So I want to highlight that there are several research done by researchers. For example, Kitsinger and Welderman did a research during 2015. And again, we cannot generalize this particular research because it was done on a specific sector in a specific country. But again, we have to do more analysis to find out what is a better strategy. But based on the research data which I analyzed, so what I can say is that for most cases, search engine optimization is a better marketing strategy to attract more customers. But there are cases where pay-per-click strategy will also work. We'll be covering that time. I will discuss more about that. So when you talk about the search engine optimization or pay-per-click strategy, one thing to keep in mind is customer persona. So when you use the word customer persona, in short, it means the target audience. Okay. So this is actually an imaginary person. Say, for example, if you are trying to sell lipstick, okay, so we know that the target audience is a female, and let's assume, say, between, say, 15 years and, say, 60 years. So I don't think, what is that, 1-year-old baby uses lipstick. So this is basically a imaginary target audience. You should know what type of audience you are targeting. Based on that, you have to design your websites. So that is customer persona. So you have to design your website in such a way that your website will rank first in the search. If somebody is searching for your website or product or company, when they type in the right keyword, your company should come first in the search, or at least in the first page. So we'll be discussing how to make it happen. The higher up on the search engine page, the more likely people will visit that website. So when you talk about search engine optimization, there are several companies which are willing to help other companies optimize their website for a price. But before following that route, you or your company can do certain stuff to make sure that even without consulting an external company specialized in doing this type of work for you, you or your team can do it yourself. I'll say one example. Suppose if somebody is typing the best college in Trivandrum. If you want All Saints College to come in the first page, you have to do certain things to make sure that All Saints College gets the first hit. So to make that happen, what you've got to do is that first thing is words matter. So when you create your website, definitely, or a web page, you should use this very good important keywords. Okay, best college in Trivandrum or innovative college in Trivandrum, something like that. Titles of the page matters. Links matters. When you talk about links, I'll be covering that in the next slide. Words in the links matters. The reputation of the site matters. So first, let's take a look at the titles. Each web page will have a title. Okay, so you may not be able to see the title when somebody is browsing your web page, but whoever has created the website, there will be a title for that page. So let me use the laser pointer. Okay, here, I hope you are able to see my laser pointer. So this is the title of the web page, Advanced Shoe Repair. If you're not able to see my laser pointer, one of you please let me know. Okay, Advanced Shoe Repair. Okay, so this may not be visible to whoever is visiting your website, but the person who did the design of this page or did the coding for this page, he knows that this is what he typed in. So if somebody is going to Google and typing advanced shoe repair, this site will pop up based on the title. And the Google, Bing, and Yahoo are the three search engines which is commonly used in the US. I'm sure it is used in India as well. That being said, they have an algorithm which is sort of a secret recipe. So nobody really knows what are the rules or formulas they are using to make sure that this site comes first. Suppose, for example, there's a competition between attracting students from Arts College and Marvanis College. Okay, so this is a secret. They won't let you know. Google and Bing and Yahoo won't let you know how we should design the web page so that somebody types in the best college in Trivandrum, or Saints College will come, or Marvanis College will come. So, for example, it could be anything. Okay, I'm just taking an example. So that being said, this is a secret. They won't share this particular recipe with anyone because if they share, then it won't be fair. So that's the reason. But these are the key things which you can do. No matter what, your search will appear in the first page. Okay. So title is important. Now let's go to the next one. Before going to the next, let me explain a little bit more about this. So, and another important concept is that links. For example, let's assume I am a mathematics teacher. Okay. If All Saints College web page, towards the end, they are saying that students, if you have any doubts in mathematics, or if you want one-on-one tutoring in mathematics, please contact Harichand Nair at this email, and we're giving a link to my web page. So All Saints College has a reputation in Kerala. Okay, so this particular link, I'm assuming you guys can see my laser pointer. If you're not able to see, one of you please let me know. Okay, so if All Saints College, this is the All Saints College web page, and towards the end, there's a link is pointing towards my web page. Okay, and let's assume this is the Arts College website, and the Arts College website, they are saying that, okay, if you have any doubts or you want one-on-one tutoring in mathematics, please contact this particular person, this web address. So like that, if there are so many web pages which are reputable, this is what the reputable web pages, and the links point to my website that is very good for my website. So if suppose somebody is doing a search in Trivandrum saying that best mathematics teacher, my particular web address will come in the top. And not only that, not only just the link, the words in the link. So if you look at that, normally if you are at my, let's assume my web address is www.hcnair.com. Let's assume that's the web address. Okay. So in the All Saints College link for max questions or max one-on-one tutoring, please contact best max faculty. So that is called as the words in the link. It is not actually www.harichandnair.com. That is the web address. But the word the link is attached to is best max faculty or best max teacher. So the link is connected to that words. That's why the words in the link matter, the link matters, the title matters, and the reputation of these particular sites. Okay. Sometimes what some mathematics teachers may do is they try to cheat the Google search or the search engine optimization by creating some fake pages. What I can do is that I myself can create a page, abc.com, and in that I can say that best mathematics teacher link to my site. I can create another website, def.com, that also I can link towards my website. Another rfc.com. So if I do that, Google is smart enough to realize that those are fake websites, not reputable. So the reputable websites, like for example, you all may know FedEx.com. FedEx is a major company in the US, in the Fortune 500 company, and it is based out of Memphis, Tennessee, where I live. So everybody knows FedEx. So if there's a link coming from FedEx, it is reputable. Similarly, if there's a link coming from the University of Kerala website, it is reputable. So based on that, this algorithm is written in such a way that that knows which are fake websites and which are genuine websites. Okay. And another thing to keep in mind is the website has to be updated frequently. Okay. If you are designing a website and if that has to come first in the search, definitely the website has to be updated frequently. That is also one criteria to make sure that your website gets the more number of hits or shows in the first page of Google search or Bing or Yahoo. Pay-per-click advertising. So pay-per-click is an internet advertising model where suppose if somebody clicks your website, which that publisher is publishing, so you are entrusting the job of advertisement to another party. So they are creating a link for you and they are trying to market your details about your company. So if somebody clicks that particular link which was created for you as an ad, then for each click you have to pay. So there are cases when people are charged, the company owners are charged, say, I'll say in US currency, say 40 cents per click. Okay, so $1 is approximately 75 Indian rupees. Okay, so 40 cents, little less than half, something like a 30 rupees for one click. Okay, so there are people who are giving their company advertisement to a third party for publishing so that based on the number of clicks, you pay that publisher. Suppose if nobody is clicking, you don't have to pay. Suppose if 100 people are clicking, based on that 40 cents into 100, you have to pay. Okay, so this is a growing strategy for certain type of businesses. Is very good. Say for example, if you are in a realtor business where you are buying houses, there are a lot of people who buy house here. They will do some modification, they will add some features and sell it for big profit. Okay, so in that case, it may not be 40 cents per click because that is, we are talking about profit of 100,000 in by selling one house, or if you are selling cars, okay, so one car costs average about $25,000 in US, okay, so if that in that cases it can go sometimes as high as $50 per click. On an average, what I've seen is that for it is about 30 cents, 40 cents, in some cases $1, some cases $2 per click. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, these two researchers did study about search engine optimization and pay-per-click marketing, internet marketing, and came to the conclusion that, okay, when instant traffic is required and when a large initial expenditure is not possible, then PPC is better. Okay. When you talk about pay-per-click, okay, what normally happens is that the advertisers has to bid for keywords. Okay, as a keyword is very important in internet. You'll be able to search and find the right document if you use the proper keyword. And there are a lot of tools available to understand the commonly used keywords. For example, if I type in best college, I get certain results. If I type in innovative colleges, I'll get a certain type of results from the Google search or Yahoo search or Bing. So the keywords is important. So best keyword, okay, if you wanted to get that particular keyword, you have to bid for it as in an auction. Okay, the Google and Yahoo and Bing all have auctions where you have to bid for the keyword so that you have exclusively right for the keyword. So if you get that particular keyword, then you will be able to use it for the searches. In addition to that, there are three key things to remember. First important thing is that you have to pay money to this Google or Bing or Yahoo to get the standard keyword. So when somebody uses the keyword, your website is pulled first. Okay, that's ad campaigns. Then how relevant the keyword is the ad that is being shown. Again, as I told you, Google, Yahoo, and Bing all have secret recipes or secret algorithms which they don't share completely with the people, to be fair, but they do look at whether the keyword is actually linked to the ad. And another thing is that they review the website landing page. When you use the word website landing page, that means that is the main page which shows up when somebody clicks the link. Okay. If that particular website landing page is not properly designed, doesn't look authentic, doesn't have the required details, then it won't be shown first. Even if you have a good keyword which you sort of won in the auction, still the website landing page, the look and the feel and the contents is very important. Remember I mentioned earlier that website landing page, the content should also change. Say, for example, if you are trying to buy shoes, Nike shoes, okay? So Nike shoes price changes frequently, okay? So based on the price change, at least the price will change. Suppose if you are having a website which says that, okay, for this Nike shoes, the price is, I'm saying an example, say 3,000 rupees. Okay, if the 3,000 rupees, nobody is changing it for years, that means that site is not authentic. Okay, so the Google, Yahoo, and Bing do look at the website landing page. And again, the third, but not the least, how much money the advertiser bids for keyword. Okay, so again, I have used the word keyword twice. One is how relevant is the keyword to the ad showed. Again, as I told you, best mathematics teacher. If you're searching mathematics teacher, the keyword best mathematics teacher, and the ad also shows best mathematics teacher. So the ad to the keyword match, and here how much money the advertiser is going to bid or give to Google or Yahoo so that you have more rights to that keyword and your search will come first. Even if you pay the money, if the website is not good and the landing page is not good and there is no link between the keyword and the ad, your a particular search won't come first, even if you are the highest bidder. Okay, webinar. Again, that's what we are doing here. When you use the word webinar, the webinar is derived from web and seminar. It's a combination of web and seminar, okay? So a lot of companies use webinar for marketing their product and service these days. I get a lot of webinar invites from software companies trying to sell software products. So it's not that I have given them my email ID, not that I have given them the permission to contact me for this particular webinar, but they somehow try to get the email ID of people in the field. Some companies buy email IDs, some companies consolidate email IDs, okay? There are several ways to obtain email ID, and there's a database where you can actually buy email IDs of authentic email ID users. Okay, even though it is not a real way to do it or a legal way to do it, but people do that. Okay, so once they have that email ID, they will send out webinar invites about saying that, okay, this is a good product because of such and such reason. Similarly, it's a good service. This software is very fast. It will enhance your computing experience. So that is how the webinar works. So that is also important digital information marketing strategy which companies are using these days to sell their product and services. Okay, this is the webinar definition. As I told earlier, it's a sort of a live online, okay, educational presentation about the product or services. And in some cases, it is interactive. You can ask questions. Okay, that's the whole idea. You can ask questions and there'll be polls. Okay, there'll be audio clippings. People will be speaking. Okay, there's a two-way communication. So if you look at today's webinar, there's a two-way communication. First, the faculty and staff of All Saints College spoke. Then I am speaking. Towards the end, we have Q&A. So it's a two-way communication. Content marketing. This is also gaining a lot of importance, as of course, article writing, but blogging, okay? I would like to talk a little bit more about blogging. You'll be surprised to know that people, especially people in their 20s and 30s, are making, say, upward of $10,000 per month by just using blogging as a hobby. Okay, irrespective of which country you are from, if you are able to master the blogging concept, definitely you can make a lot of money by just doing it the right way. Okay, blogging, what normally people do is that they create a website, okay, and do a write-up about the product. Say, for example, if I wanted to market Nike shoes, I'll have a tie-up with Nike and I will try to, do a video or a link or write up about Nike feedbacks. And based on the number of clicks, okay, the Nike will pay me. And Google also, we can also open an account called with Google Ads. And we should be willing to share what ad which Google want to show on your web page. Okay. So based on the number of clicks, suppose if I have a website and I have the University of Kerala, I'm trying to, they are following me. So if they click the advertisement provided by Google Ads in my particular website, so each time a faculty or staff or student from University of Kerala clicks my what is that advertisement in my particular web page, I get say 40 cents or 10 cents based on what is the agreed upon rate. Okay. So bloggers influence brand identity. In the first, second or third slide, we talked about brand. Brand is very important. We all know, for example, Coke is a good brand, especially for soft drink. We all know Nike is a good brand when it comes to shoes. Okay. So when a first time a brand is introduced, even if it is good or even if it is bad, nobody knows whether it is good or bad. If you have a good brand, I mean, when I say if you have a good brand, I mean you have unique selling points. If you have a good brand, then definitely when the bloggers try to advertise your particular product, it will take you get a lot of traffic in your website. Okay. Let me go back and I just want to highlight one particular point, which we want to make sure that I didn't miss that particular point. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, this is a particular point which I want to highlight about unique selling points. Okay, if you look here, I have 3 circles. One is what the customer wants. One is what your competitor does well. And the third circle is what your brand does. Okay. First of all, we have to know what the customer is looking for, what the customer wants. Okay. Let's assume you're talking about cell phone. Customer wants a phone which has Face ID, which can, store about 100 apps, which looks good. If that is what the customer wants, what your competitor does. So there are Samsung phones, there are several phones which has the same feature. So everybody, all the phones can download apps. So if you are trying to come with that particular thing in your cell phone, if you are creating your own cell phone, definitely there's already competition. That is why the X is there. So there's no need to focus on that because that is a common feature. But if you look at the green arrow, those are the unique selling product. Say, for example, right now, if you take the case of your cell phone, each and every one of you can have only one number for your cell phone. Okay. Let's assume you have one iPhone, but 2 numbers. Okay. 2 numbers. So you can, suppose from All Saints College, somebody want to contact a faculty, they can use one number. Okay. If the family members wanted to contact a faculty, they can use the second number, let's assume. So that is a unique selling point if you are able to create a phone which has 2 numbers. I'm saying an example, just making up a story here. Okay. So if that is the case, you have a unique selling point. That is what sets your brand to make sure that people try to buy your product. Now let me go back to where I was before. Content marketing again. So as I mentioned earlier, if you know how to create a quality blog, and if you have tie-up with companies like Google Ads, definitely you can make thousands of dollars a month. There are a lot of people making, at least I know a couple of people who are making 10,000 plus per month just by blogging. Is their career actually. Of course, you have ebooks. We have white papers. White papers, as you all know, it is nothing but a authoritative report about a product or service. Normally, white papers are written by educated people who are well known in the industry. So if they say that Nike is good, because of such and such, definitely it will go a long way. And you all know podcasts, basically voice, there's no video in that. Okay, these are the downloadable content offerings. A lot of companies are using, it is better to use not just one, rather than using only search engine optimization. If you use a combination of all this, definitely you will be able to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to selling your product. Email marketing. Remember, I told earlier that I receive a lot of emails about webinars, especially regarding the software products offered in the US. This is a little bit different. This email marketing is email written to people after taking their consent. That's why I've highlighted here, permission email marketing, okay? So after taking your permission, say for example, let's assume you are using Air India for all your travel needs, flight, okay? So you are filling up a form to get their frequent flyer card. Okay, so each time you fly Air India, you will get, let's assume, 1,000 points, which equates to say 1,000 rupees. Okay, if that's the case, they do have your email ID. Okay, so when you fill in the request form for their frequent flyer card, they will ask for your phone number, they will ask for your name, they will ask for your address. Even if they may not ask your phone, it may not be required, but they'll put an asterisk and say that to proceed to the next page, you have to at least fill in your email address. So they got your email address. And towards the end, whether you realize or not, they may have a small checkbox say that you agree to receive emails from us. That means you are giving consent, whether it is with your knowledge or without your knowledge. They got your permission. Okay. Then they use that to email you, okay, if you reserve a flight, especially now during the pandemic, okay, between now until August end, you get 50% discount for travel. Okay, that is email marketing. In US, also, cigarettes or tobacco is not a, or that good product to do ads on. So what they do is that they use direct marketing. So the tobacco companies will know the email address or the phone number of the people using cigarettes in US, and they try to send them emails saying that, okay, during this holiday, cigarettes are buy one, get one free, buy one, get two free, that type of marketing strategy. So that is very common, especially with tobacco companies in US. This is another example of an email which I got. Again, email with permission. So there's a company called Bed Bath and Beyond, where they sell household utensils, refrigerator, microwave, things like that. Okay. So I always get this particular coupon from this particular Bed Bath and Beyond. The reason being, let's assume a refrigerator costs, say about, I'm making an example here, 20,000 rupees in India. Okay. Let's assume the Bed Bath and Beyond in India. So if I bring with this coupon 20,000, I get 20% off. That's a lot of money. Okay. So there are cases when I have taken this coupon and visited this particular shop. But again, the catch is you will get 20% off for only one item. So if you are buying a refrigerator for 20,000 rupees and a microwave for 10,000 rupees, you have to make sure that you first give that refrigerator and say that I need 20% off for this particular item. So that's why it is written one single item. This is just an example. There are cases when they give 20% off for everything. So the point is that they got my business because they send me this email. There is email marketing. Social media marketing. Social media marketing is gaining a lot of importance these days. Okay, it's a collaborative. If you take the case of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, LinkedIn, TripAdvisor, YouTube, Snapchat, everybody is using. You may not use all of them, but you are using at least a couple of them. Say, for example, Facebook, okay? Especially people in the age group, I'll say 30 to 15 years, everybody is in Facebook. So LinkedIn, all the professionals, software professionals, faculty, if you search my name, I will be there in Facebook, LinkedIn. Okay. Similarly, all the faculty who I know in US, they are in Facebook. Okay. So nowadays, social media marketing is a platform for actually collaborative discussion or also for marketing. Let's take the scenario. I am in the market to buy a refrigerator. If I use a Google search for refrigerator, okay, when I log into Facebook, I can see, okay, what is that? Refrigerator ads popping up in Facebook. So basically there's no privacy these days. So when you're typing something, this particular Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything are tuned to actually capture your Google search, and based on that, they will show that ad in Facebook. 50% of, let's assume I'm typing in a Google search, the cost of refrigerator or the refrigerator shops near me in Google search. And after a couple of days, if I am logging on to Facebook, the first thing which pops up is, okay, 50% off refrigerator at this shop until August end. So that is how it works. Okay, so social media is actually having a lot of impact in advertisement and internet marketing. Research shows that importance of a social media is increasing these days. And a lot of companies are using that for marketing campaigns. Okay, blogs. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, blogging is getting a lot of importance because people are making a lot of money. May not be like stock market, but stock market, there is a downside because if you don't plan properly or if you are not, doing the right choice of selecting your stock items, there are people who land into trouble. So, but unlike that, blog, you're not losing anything other than your time. Okay. Social network sites. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn, that comes under social network sites. I also wanted to highlight the difference between microblog and blogs. Both are similar. Only thing is that microblog, for example, Twitter, they are actually comparatively short, say something like a 280 characters. That's short messages. Whereas Facebook is a frequent interaction, they will download pictures, there'll be frequent talk back and forth going on. But this Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram, they're all comparatively short messages. Then in the virtual world, we have Second Life and Word of Craft. Many more are there. And collaborative websites are Wikipedia. Then content communities, YouTube. YouTube have a lot of marketing and also a lot of good articles. Suppose if I wanted to check a good article or good video, I normally go to YouTube. There are a lot of good videos available on YouTube, which we can use to understand certain concepts. But only catch is that in between their advertisement. But there's a way to circumvent that by paying a premium for a service. That option is always there, but most of us use the free YouTube. So in YouTube, definitely there are ads, and somebody is paying to get their ad in there. And there are also dedicated feedback sites like TripAdvisor. So TripAdvisor, especially in US, everybody uses often. So if you wanted to go to, say, for example, Chicago or New York and to rent a hotel, you go to TripAdvisor and look for feedback, and based on that, you decide where to stay, which is the safe community and things like that. So just like we have Facebook, certain countries have something similar. Just like we have Second Life, certain companies may not, they may block certain websites. For example, recently, India has banned about 59 Chinese apps. So if you start off with, China has banned several apps, several US apps long back. Say, for example, let me go to the next slide just to show that. Okay. For example, we use Twitter and Tumblr. Instead of that, see, China uses Sina, Weibo, Tencent, Weibo. So instead of Facebook, MySpace, and LinkedIn, China uses Renren Duban. Okay, instead of the Second Life and World of Craft, the virtual world, they uses China51.com. And instead of YouTube, if you go here, China is using Youku. Okay, so that's an example. So, and instead of WhatsApp, in China, they use WeChat. Okay, so just an example. So each country, certain websites are blocked. They have their own websites, their own, media for social media. Okay, so this is just an alarm to show that we have crossed 1 hour. Okay, blogging example. Example of a blog. Okay. I'll just see whether I can show this. It's coming up. Okay. This is an example of a blog. Okay. So basically, this particular whoever created this blog, they're advertising a lot of stuff. Okay. BuzzFeed Deals Week. Okay. Check out BuzzFeed Deals Week. So moment I click this or moment I click on of that, okay, they actually whoever created this particular site. Okay. Okay, let me back out. Okay, so that is BuzzFeed. So if I click one of their sites, there's most of this is advertisement. Okay, so if I click that site, this particular owner of this BuzzFeed, he'll be paid say 40 cents per each click I make. Okay, and I wanted to show an example of the blog in a website. Okay, website with a blog. Website can also have a blog. So, for example, if All Saints College want to have a website with a blog where they want to write something, blog, they don't have to, it does not have to be as authentic or as pristine as a website. If they want to write something about a new concept introduced in All Saints College or a new library with more features introduced in All Saints College, they want to write something about it, definitely you can have a website, have a blog inside your website. So if you look here, the top, there is blog. This is blog. Okay. Okay. So when you are looking for open source software to create your website, blog, one thing which comes to my mind is WordPress. WordPress is an open source software you can use to create a beautiful website. Okay. There are other websites, other software available, just like Wix, Squarespace. Those are all available. But the catch is that sometimes what these websites do is that they'll say, okay, it is free. After 2 weeks, they'll say that if you wanted to continue using, you have to pay so much. So you have to actually read the fine print before deciding which software we want to use for creating your own website. Okay, they all have some templates. You can borrow some, you can purchase templates. You can use the templates which are already provided. Okay, and you can also design your own website from scratch. Okay, once you have your blog, okay, you can actually use that to attract customers. You can also have tie-up with Google to make sure that somebody clicks the link in your website, you get paid. And to get a tie-up with Google and all is comparatively easy, but only thing is that they don't pay that much when compared to publishers like MediaVine, AdThrive. These are basically internet advertising companies. Okay, they help the companies design the website. They also help people like you and me to write a good blog to make it look like people wanted to visit your blog. And if they click the advertisement in your blog, you get paid. Say, for example, MediaVine. Let me click the MediaVine link. will come up now. Okay. So they are the publishers. Okay. So we go down. Okay. So you can look at this later. Just wanted to show you that. So this particular company, they actually help you create the website. They also provide you ads. And the key thing is that if you're having a tie-up with this Mediavine, you get much more money than, say, for example, Google. Okay. So you earn money with website monetization from Google Ad. So Google, if you wanted to know more about how to do that, Google AdSense is that particular search you have to do to understand more about Google Ad. Okay. And another publisher which does the same thing is AdThrive. They also, entertain bloggers so that they can use bloggers to publish their ads. And you get paid much more than Google if you use their site. There are so many like this, but I'm familiar with these two, so I'm just highlighting these two. The website is coming up, AdThrive. Okay, create the highest possible income. As I mentioned earlier, there are people making more than $10,000 per month. So for just to get an idea, we are multiplying that by 75 rupees if you want to convert it into rupees. Okay, so there are a lot of people using this. But one catch is that there's the Mediavine and AdThrive will entertain your request only if you have certain number of users. Okay, so my understanding is that you should have about 25,000 followers, or at least 25,000 people has to visit your website in a month. Okay, if you are only having 10 visitors to your page per month, they are not going to entertain your membership. Okay, that's the catch. But as far as Google ad, it does not matter. Even if you have 20, 50, they still entertain because they are not paying that much for your ad. Video production. Again, video production, you all know I'm not going to go more into it because especially let's take the scenario, you are starting a hospital business. Okay, suppose if you capture a video of a person who is trying to do a plastic surgery in the face, before picture and after picture, and how that person is recovering, definitely that site will look more authentic and will get a better hit in the search engine optimization. And also when the patient really sees the actual what type of plastic surgery you are doing in your hospital, definitely you'll get more customers trying to get their procedure done from your hospital. So again, the real life stories, okay, that makes a big difference. Okay, video production. With video, word of mouth becomes word of watch. Okay, so in US, not only US, even in India, basically word of mouth is very important. Suppose somebody says that, okay, I brought these Nike shoes. Okay, I lasted for 3 years without any problem. That's word of mouth. Same thing if you are trying to show in a video, okay, somebody buying the Nike shoe at the age of 10 and at the age of 15, provided the shoe size is not changing, he's still wearing that same shoes which he purchased 5 years back, definitely that's the word of watch. Okay, when Google is formatting where to place the website in the results, those including video will be favored and therefore have a higher ranking. As I told earlier, higher ranking means somebody is searching a website, that will come first, at least first, second, or third. If it goes to second page, the traffic visiting your website will decrease drastically. Voice engine optimization. Nowadays, voice engine optimization is gaining a lot of importance because of Siri. Okay, suppose if I wanted to, go to a restaurant, I just open, hey Siri, what is the best Indian restaurant near me? It will say. Okay, so Okay, I actually did not mean that Siri to answer me. Actually, he gave me the address of a nearby restaurant. Okay, because my phone was kept near the presentation. Okay, so that's it. So nowadays everybody is looking for what is that, voice engine optimization. So the same thing as search engine optimization. What you did, you are giving that command using your voice. So whether it is Amazon Echo or Google Home or your iPhone Siri, definitely based on what search criteria you use, keyword you use, your first thing. Say if you look at that, I just used the Siri to find out the best restaurant near me. It just spit out one result. Okay, so that's the key thing, that the higher your rank is, the better chance that you get traffic. Okay, voice search. Okay, voice technology is on the rise and will continue to grow. And US, most of my friends are using voice search these days. Okay, not only for looking for restaurants, not only for looking for best place to do the stuff, but even for driving. So if you wanted to go from point A to point B, so okay, what is the best direction to go from Trivandrum to Ernakulam? Okay, it will say, okay, how many hours, or what is the speed limit, all that it will say. Okay, excellent voice optimized SEO strategy to get your brand to the top of the search engine result pages. Okay. Okay, these are my contact details, and you can actually email me if you have any questions after our Q&A session. If you are running out of time, I'll make sure that I will answer your questions. Again, back to you, Reshmi, to continue with the remaining part of the seminar.
Now we have this Q&A session, and if any of the participants wish to have a direct interaction with the resource person, you are welcome. Is anyone willing to have an interaction with the resource person?
Yeah, if you have any questions, please go ahead.
No questions, I suppose. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. Madam.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
My question, what do you think about current development, the opportunity and challenges of digital marketing, and about their future prospects?
The current challenges, see right now, if you take the case, globally, only 59% of the population have access to internet. That means 41% is untapped. Okay. So especially if you take the case of India, only about 50% of the people have access to internet. And okay. And even though people are having access to internet, most people are not well versed in using the right keyword to get the right result. That's one challenge. Okay. And another challenge is that internet is also, if you take the case, even though I told that about 500 million people in India has internet, and also 4.57 billion people have internet. Internet speeds are very slow in rural areas. That's a big challenge. There is a digital divide. Okay. Everybody does not know how to get the right result, use the right keyword. So that is the main challenge. Main challenge is people are not aware how to use internet to the full advantage.
Is there any more questions?
Okay, thank you, sir.
In case if the participants wish to have any interaction, they can do so. Okay. Then, now thank you very much, sir. That was indeed a very great talk. so rich with information and guidance for a lot of academic and research initiatives going on in our institution. Once again, thank you very much, sir. I sincerely appreciate your taking the time to be with us today and sharing your insights and experience. Now, I request all the participants to provide their feedback in the link which is specified in the chat window. And as soon as you submit your feedback form, you can generate the e-certificate. And in case if you are not able to generate the certificate, we'll see to it that you get the same within 2 days. As we are getting ready to wrap up a great day, my sincere thanks to each and every one of the participants for attending the webinar. Now, I request our sister, Nancy Worrell, librarian and joint convener of the webinar, to formally deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you. Over to you, sister.
As we come to the end of the international webinar on digital information marketing strategy, jointly organized by the PG Department of Commerce and the Library of Information Science, I would like to formally propose the vote of thanks. I am deeply honored to place on record our profound gratitude to our Reverend Mother Mary Francis, our manager, who is a guiding light in all our endeavors, and our director, Sister Belinda Pereira, who has been always our pillar of support. Our thanks are due to our principal, Dr. Deepa M., for her support and encouragement in all the activities. I am indeed privileged to thank our eminent resource person, Dr. Harichand Nair, who dealt with the topic in an exemplary manner. In this era, where everything is digitalized, sir, your talk was really informative and thought-provoking. Thank you very much, sir. My sincere thanks are also due to the convener of today's webinar and the organizing committee. Needless to say, my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants who are attending this webinar and for their active participation. We also extend our sincere thanks to K.S. Kirtiga for the technical help rendered. Last but not the least, my thanks are also due to the Almighty. Once again, thank you.
Now we come to an end of this webinar. Thank you once again.